Well, it's Trial Tuesday, and today we're talking about drug trafficking. Attorney David Aylor is joining us about a sneaky new way drug dealers are doing business. And it seems like so many of our law enforcement people have been cracking down on this over the last decade, but it seems like drug dealers are getting even more sophisticated or more simplified maybe on the way that they're dealing with drugs and getting them in and out of countries.
Well, what you're seeing a lot of, particularly inside the country, is you're seeing places where marijuana is either legal recreationally or legal as far as medicinal, and then those farmers are, have overage of the crops, and then they're mailing that to other states where it's completely illegal, like here in the state of South Carolina. So that's one way where you're seeing a whole lot of the business starting simply because they can charge them less money for the marijuana or even front it, which basically means give it to them without charging them and then pay them on the back end. And they're doing it as simple as drop it in a UPS or a FedEx type of, or even the Postal Service package, delivering it here, and then the person distributing here, where it's still just a complete illegal street drug.
The person that picks it up or it's delivered to and they put their hands on it here, there's some hefty fines and possibly jail time as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you put your fake name on it, they're still going to follow it where it goes. They're going to track the package. Now, obviously, a lot of packages get through, and otherwise people wouldn't be doing it. But a lot of also them are caught. They'll follow along as to where the package goes, actually still deliver it there, and then that person, even if they claim ignorance, the second they're bringing it in the house, opening it up, you're looking at some serious charges, and potentially even federal charges, because remember, marijuana is still illegal on the federal side, particularly when you're taking it across state lines.
State lines. Those are key words, taken across state lines.
Right.
What would be some sort of a fine? What sort of punishment would somebody get possibly?
With trafficking, you look it up to even 10 years, depending on how much marijuana it is, and then how often this is happening. And then there are other charges related to, of course, to the shipping of it. And then what they start to do then is looking at potentially seizing property that you may have, things within your home that they feel like you've used marijuana sales to purchase it. Obviously, that's unlawful, and they can actually come in and seize it. A lot of people don't realize how that process works until it's too late.
Most of this is being done that you see within the United States, or is some of that being shipped from overseas, Mexico and other countries down in South America?
We still see a lot of stuff coming in through Mexico. That's going to be more harder drugs such as cocaine. There's not a lot of profit yielding from the marijuana, so you're not seeing as much of that come through. But particularly the cocaine, you're going to see a lot of that coming internationally, as well as some things through the Canadian border. But within the United States, we're seeing states like California and other states that have large amounts of marijuana farmers. For instance, now it's been almost 20 years since California's had medicinal marijuana. So there's a pretty big industry there, even though they don't have it recreationally. And the amount that these people can, even if they ship out the marijuana and it gets stopped, as long as it doesn't come back to them, they're really not out that much money. So it's sort of a win-win if they get the money back. But you're seeing more and more people try to make those shortcuts and end up in a pretty tough position.
And the UPS, our private mailing service, also our postal service, they're not guilty. They're picking up a package that somebody has paid for, and they're making that delivery. No one is guilty basically in between, except for the deliverer and also the person that is sending it, the person that is receiving it.
The only rule that they really have to follow is in regards to if, in fact, when their investigators are looking, if they feel like that there may be an issue with the package, then they're supposed to contact law enforcement. But of course, some of the packages do get through, but there's also a lot that don't. But the ones that do get through, then probably the person's going to order again. And then what happens is after there's a pattern of it, they start to sort of go back and look at the other shipments, and it really can go down a long line for your potential criminal penalties.
Walk me through what I should do. I'm at the house, all of a sudden somebody comes up, a postal service comes up, delivers a package. I say, oh wow, this is a package for me. I don't notice the return address or whatever. I open it up and there's about 2 or 3 pounds of marijuana in it. What do I need to do right off the bat?
First thing that I would do is contact an attorney who's going to also then work with you in contacting law enforcement. At that point, you're in possession of that drug, which is illegal. Obviously, if it's a situation where someone's used your name, they know where you live, which does happen, or people who use empty houses, they'll take advantage of it that way. But if it happens to come down to you, it's not something you want to deal with later. You want to make sure you follow the proper procedure so that the authorities come in and are alerted to it and investigate, as opposed to come in and arrest you for it.
So that's the best thing to do is call an attorney, and then you'll go through the legal steps that need to be done to make sure that everybody's protected.
They're going to make a contact with the police department saying, hey, here's what I've got a client, this is the situation, and sort of be the go-between for you as opposed to just calling, because they may think that you're just on drugs, or you think you're being paranoid and you're just now making the story up and then charge you for it. So you want to be very careful if you're in that situation.
A little bit off, it's still on this subject, but a little bit more on a legal standpoint. Do you ever see marijuana becoming legal, either medicinal purposes or for recreational in the state of South Carolina?
I really think that medicinal will come. Obviously, we have a cannabis oil that is coming legal now, and has due to autism and different types of treatment. I think down the line, even there's a lot of conservative Republicans that see the benefits of medicinal marijuana. However, I don't think it'll happen anytime very soon, and it's highly unlikely that recreational marijuana will really ever come through here in the state of South Carolina. You probably need to go out west if you're looking for that.
I understand that. I don't need to go. Up next.